Is this the beginning of the end for some of your favorite fast food spots? Because if these chains don't make some serious changes, and fast, they might not even survive to see the drive-thru line in 2026. The fast food industry is in trouble. Big trouble. Major brands are shutting down hundreds of locations. Franchise owners are quitting. And the financial reports? They're looking scary. We're talking about losses, layoffs, and entire regions being abandoned. High inflation, ruthless competition, and just plain bad business decisions have turned once booming fast food empires into sinking ships. And some of them are already underwater. These aren't just small chains either. Some of the names on this list were once fast food royalty. Now they're barely holding on in an economy where every dollar counts, and customers are being pickier than ever. A few have already filed for bankruptcy. Others are cutting staff, closing stores, and trying to stay afloat with last-ditch efforts. And behind the scenes, furious franchisees are clashing with corporate leaders, fed up with poor decisions and shrinking profits. Add in skyrocketing food and labor costs, and you've got a recipe for disaster. Even those once legendary $5 meal deals can't save them anymore. They're just Band-Aids on a much bigger problem. Sure, McDonald's, Burger King, and Wendy's are still locked in a fierce battle for the top spot. But while the giants fight, smaller chains, and even a few surprising big players, are quietly fading away. In a panic, some brands are slashing locations, tossing out experimental menu items, and rebranding in ways that scream, "Please don't forget us." But will it be enough? Or are we watching the collapse of once mighty fast food names that'll soon be nothing more than abandoned buildings and flickering neon signs? This isn't just hype. The warning signs are real. Insider reports, financial data, and mass closures are already painting a grim picture. So if your favorite fast food place pops up on this list, you might want to grab one last order while you still can. Because by the time 2026 rolls around, some of these chains could be gone for good. Let's dive into 5 fast food chains that are at serious risk of disappearing by 2026. 5. Jack in the Box, the late-night favorite. That's losing steam. Jack in the Box used to be a go-to spot for late-night cravings. Where else could you grab tacos, egg rolls, breakfast burritos, burgers, and milkshakes, all under one roof? That wild mix made it a favorite, especially on the West Coast. But now, that same variety is starting to backfire. Trying to juggle such a massive menu has led to supply chain nightmares and rising operational costs. It's become harder and harder for the chain to offer a consistent experience to customers. And it's showing. To stay relevant, Jack in the Box jumped into the trend of virtual brands, like creating digital-only menus for chicken wings and delivery-only kitchens, known as ghost kitchens. But the rollout was rocky. The company's tech and delivery systems just weren't ready. Orders got mixed up, wait times got longer, and online reviews tanked. But that's just the beginning of the mess. Franchisees, the people who actually run most Jack in the Box locations, have been sounding the alarm. Many say the corporate office is charging high fees, offering little support, and ignoring serious problems with store profitability. In 2023, it all came to a head when a group of angry franchisees filed a lawsuit accusing Jack in the Box of negligence. By 2024, things got worse. Several franchise owners pulled out completely, shutting down locations and leaving big chunks of the country without a Jack in the Box in sight. On top of that, the chain tried to appeal to health-conscious customers with new menu items like salad bowls and grilled chicken pitas. But let's be real, that's not what most Jack fans are looking for. Regulars want indulgent comfort food at cheap prices, and when the cost of ingredients spiked, prices went up, and budget-conscious customers went elsewhere. Places like Taco Bell and small local spots started winning over Jack's late-night crowd. A 2024 report from Morgan Stanley showed some scary numbers. Net debt was near record highs, and same-store sales were down almost 8% year-over-year. In early 2025, the company announced a plan to modernize stores and improve its digital systems. But many critics are calling it too little, too late. Unless something big changes, and fast, Jack in the Box might go from a quirky fast food icon to just another name in the fast food graveyard before 2026. As 4. Checkers and Rallies, the double identity. That's double trouble. Checkers and Rallies have always leaned on their two names, one brand strategy, offering classic American fast food and their famously seasoned fries from small, drive-thru focused locations. That tight, efficient model was once their superpower, but in today's market, it's becoming a major weakness. As more customers shift to mobile ordering, app-based deals, and curbside pickup, Checkers and Rallies have been struggling to keep up. The brand added third-party delivery services back in 2021 to help make up for the drop in dining traffic. But execution has been inconsistent. Some locations just didn't have enough space or staff to handle the extra volume. By 2023, cracks in the foundation became impossible to ignore. The company shut down about 30 underperforming locations, and that was just the beginning. Back in 2023, Checkers and Rallies quietly shut down about 30 underperforming stores. It didn't make major headlines at the time, but it was a big red flag, a sign of deeper long-term issues within the brand. Private equity investors tried to keep things afloat by pumping cash into flashy marketing campaigns, offering $1 deals and limited-time combos to bring in budget-conscious customers. But here's the problem. In the already cutthroat budget burger market, those kinds of promos often hurt more than they help. Sure, they attract attention, but they eat away at profit margins, and they didn't do much to build real customer loyalty. Staffing shortages made things even worse. Some restaurants were forced to reduce hours, or even close part of the day. Customers showed up expecting food, only to find locked doors or long lines, and that drove many straight into the arms of more reliable competitors like McDonald's and Wendy's. Then there's the economic pressure. Checkers and Rallies has always catered to lower-income communities, but in the post-pandemic economy, many of those households are being extremely cautious with their spending. Even loyal fans of the chain's signature seasoned fries are opting to cook at home or turn to cheaper, make-it-yourself meal kits. And visually, the brand's once eye-catching black and white checkerboard design now feels outdated. In the age of Instagram and TikTok, modern aesthetics sell, and Checkers and Rallies just hasn't kept up. They tried rolling out new menu items like garlic butter burgers and funnel cake fries. But while they created a little buzz, they didn't deliver the kind of turnaround the brand desperately needs. Industry analysts reported a 12% drop in system-wide sales in 2024. The company has hinted at a bold makeover, including digital ordering systems and redesigned stores, but progress has been slow, and franchise owners are getting nervous. If they don't act quickly and make serious changes, Checkers and Rallies could go from a once bold brand known for fast service and big flavor to just another forgotten name in the fast food world. 3. McDonald's. Could the golden arches actually dim? Okay, this one might sound crazy, but even McDonald's, the king of fast food, isn't as safe as you might think. Yes, the golden arches are still everywhere, and yes, McDonald's continues to dominate in total locations. But behind the scenes, the company is facing a perfect storm that could seriously shrink its footprint by 2026, or in a worst-case scenario, lead to the closure of hundreds of stores. Let's break it down. Inflation is hitting everyone, but for McDonald's, it's brutal. The cost of basic ingredients like beef, potatoes, and oil has soared, meaning those once affordable Big Macs and fries now come with noticeably higher price tags. And customers aren't thrilled. In fact, many longtime fans are starting to ask, is this still worth it? Add to that a shift in eating habits. More and more people are leaning toward plant-based diets, healthier options, or fast casual restaurants that offer fresher ingredients and more customizability. Think Chipotle, Panera, or Sweetgreen. And McDonald's? It's having trouble keeping up. Even though the chain has tested plant-based burgers like the McPlant, the rollout hasn't been smooth. Reviews were mixed, and adoption in the U.S. was much lower than expected. Plus, younger generations, especially millennials and Gen Z, are less loyal to legacy brands. They're willing to try new places and spend a bit more for quality, sustainability, or even just a better-looking product to post online. That's putting McDonald's in a tough spot. McDonald's isn't just sitting back and taking the hits. Over the past few years, the company has poured billions of dollars into upgrading locations across the country. You've probably seen the changes. Sleek self-order kiosks, digital menu boards, modern interiors. They've branded this transformation as the experience of the future. But even with these shiny new updates, some deeper problems still linger. Franchise owners, the backbone of McDonald's, have raised major concerns. Many say the cost of these remodels is crushing, and they're not convinced the fancy tech actually leads to higher profits. Sure, the kiosks might look cool, but if they don't boost sales, what's the point? Another area where McDonald's missed the mark? Coffee. They once planned to take on Starbucks with the McCafe expansion, dreaming of premium lattes and cafe vibes. But that plan never really took off in the U.S., and now McDonald's is stuck in a weird spot. Not quite a serious coffee competitor, but no longer the cheap and easy option either. Then there's the PR problem. McDonald's has faced a string of lawsuits over alleged labor violations, including claims of unsafe working conditions and poor treatment of employees. While many of these cases are regional, the bad press spreads fast, especially on social media. And let's face it, younger customers, especially Gen Z and millennials, care a lot about how companies treat their workers. They also care about the environment and what goes into their food. McDonald's has been targeted by plant-based advocacy groups for its heavy reliance on beef and slow movement on vegan options. The McPlant burger was supposed to be a game-changer, but after mixed reviews and weak sales, it never gained serious momentum. Compare that to Burger King's Impossible Whopper, which got way more buzz and stayed in the spotlight longer. Environmental concerns are another major pressure point. McDonald's has tried switching to paper straws and recyclable packaging, but the rollout hasn't been smooth. These changes have brought supply chain headaches, higher costs, and concerns from franchisees who worry it might affect taste, convenience, or customer satisfaction. Put all of this together: rising costs, shifting eating habits, employee backlash, and environmental pressure. And McDonald's is juggling more problems than ever. If they can't adapt fast enough, it's not impossible to imagine a future where the golden arches aren't quite so golden anymore. Number 2. Krystal, Southern sliders on shaky ground. Next up is a regional favorite with deep roots in the South, Krystal. Known for its tiny square burgers loaded with steamed onions, Krystal has been around since 1932. And for decades, it was considered the Southern answer to White Castle. But legacy alone doesn't guarantee survival. And Krystal has been on life support more than once. In 2020, the company filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy, drowning in over $100 million in debt. While new owners stepped in and gave the brand a temporary boost, it wasn't long before old problems came creeping back. The fast food battlefield in the Southeast is brutal. You've got Wendy's, Chick-fil-A, Popeyes, and even newer upstarts like Zaxby's dominating the drive-thru scene. Krystal just hasn't kept pace. In today's crowded fast food world, Krystal is fighting an uphill battle and losing ground fast. The same customers they've relied on for years are now being wooed away by giants like Chick-fil-A, Wendy's, Popeyes, and even more niche southern chains like Cookout and Zaxby's, all of whom offer quicker service, better pay, and more modern menus. One of Krystal's biggest struggles? Staffing. Franchise owners have been sounding the alarm for years, saying they can't keep workers longer than a few months. The reasons? Low wages, long hours, and tight, outdated kitchen spaces that make the job both physically demanding and mentally exhausting. That staffing shortage has led to reduced operating hours at many locations. Imagine pulling up late at night, ready for a hot bag of sliders, only to find the doors locked and the lights off. Customers get frustrated, and in today's world, that frustration goes straight to social media, damaging a brand already hanging by a thread. On top of that, supply chain issues have hit hard. Everything from their signature slider buns to specialty condiments has been out of stock at times, leading to inconsistent experiences that frustrate loyal fans. Krystal did attempt a brand refresh, with some locations getting digital menu boards, updated interiors, and a cleaner logo. But not everyone got the memo. Many franchisees simply couldn't afford the upgrades or didn't believe the investment would pay off. Even new menu items, like spicy chicken sandwiches, fell flat. Not because they were bad, but because they were completely overshadowed by bigger chains with bigger ad budgets and louder voices. But the real storm cloud hanging over Krystal is debt. Even after closing multiple struggling locations in 2024, reports suggest the company is still financially stretched to the limit. With razor-thin margins, Krystal is one bad year or one big price hike in ingredients away from disaster. If the brand doesn't make a bold move fast, Krystal could go from a southern staple to a faded memory, remembered only by those who once craved its tiny sliders during midnight cravings. Number 1. Burger King. Is the king losing his crown? For decades, Burger King has been one of the biggest names in fast food. The Whopper? Iconic. That flame-grilled flavor? Instantly recognizable.